on. Hello there, whoever is watching this video, which might be by a long shot, you know? But I didn't have enough time to create a full Fortnite map for this project, so I just had to bum rush it, and I'm choosing the last game I played, Street Fighter, while explaining this to you. I hope I got a lot on this project. Okay, so this is my PR campaign for West Africa that I wrote early on. Uh, Basically, you know what? Here, I'll just do it right now. Okay. West Africa project, take one. Um, welcome to West Africa. That part's really not important. It's more or less like a travel board thing. Um, but yeah, welcome to West Africa. Welcome to West Africa, where the music flows like water. Here in West Africa, we have complicated music that served the template for rock and roll. Not like European music, where rhythm was considered sinful. We have such music that served the template for rock and roll and hip hop. We also have such musical artists as Youssou N'Dour, Fela. I'm butchering these pronunciations. You can just look them up. Sorry, I'm butchering them. Um, we we also have traditional dancing as Sunu, as well as Lamban and Manji. I I butchered those. We have musical instruments like drums and sabar, also tama, and finally dembedje. I butchered those perfectly. Um, Also here in West Africa we have the template that serves for the banjo that you hear a lot in country music. Um, Visit West Africa for the family because it's not like those commercials that you see that trick old people into giving them money. That are probably real, but I never checked. We have the best university. We have the best. I have one of the greatest universities, Ivy League, by the way. It's on top of a mountain, so when your parents said they had to walk uphill for school, they actually had to go to the school. Also, West Africa had the first recorded heart transplant in history. Okay, the first recorded. So, 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 here are the things I'm going to be talking about that deserve a trigger warning. Yay! Topics include slavery, also, I guess the Mac Daddy of slavery. I don't want to call him the Mac Daddy of slavery. It just makes me feel wrong. It just makes me feel wrong inside. Um, so basically, let me explain to you how the slave trade worked. This went on for 400 years, and it was abolished here in the United States of America, where I'm currently residing. Um, what happened was is that the Europe had run through its natural resources. They completely screwed up. Now, Africa was in need of of wine, brandy, whatever, right? Manufactured goods, right? Europe had manufactured goods, right? Africa had enslaved people, right? Now, let's throw a chainsaw into this juggling thing, okay? Not literally. So basically, then, after Christopher Columbus, quote, discovered the Americas, um, what happened is that the Americas had so many natural resources. I'm talking like abundance of trees, okay? Like, it was untouched unless you count the native population, okay? And what happened is that Europe was like, hey man, we need some like farmable resources because we ran through all of ours. and because we need, Africa to get their manufactured goods. So basically they were like, Africa, how about we're gonna send some ships down there. We're gonna give you the manufacture. We're gonna buy some slaves from you. Go to go to go back up to get some supplies for the long trip. Then sail off to North America, right? Now this was completely unprofitable, and I don't know how you're supposed to turn profit on this. And that just makes me feel sick for saying that. So what happened is that North America was like, hey, some dude who was like Mac Daddy, slavery ally, shouldn't be calling him that because that makes me feel wrong. It makes me feel wrong for a plethora of reasons. That makes me feel wrong. Also because who titles themselves the Mac Daddy of slavery? Okay. Who titles themselves and says that, right? Now that's not important for one thing, but basically what happened is some dude was like, hey, why don't we supply while we're in Europe? Then when we go to Africa, we're gonna buy the slaves, go to North America, profit turned. Then North America ships the things over, circle Hakuna Matata. That makes me feel wrong for saying that. Hakuna Matata. Circle of life, right? Or the circle of profit. Basically, what these people were subjected to was the worst, okay? I'm talking like crap-filled caverns that were hit with a bucket of water every like one day. That were hit with a bucket of water every one day. Not from the actual salt water, from one of the crew. Deciding, well, they had to clean it out, of course, right? They had to clean it out because that was gross. I was in there. That was gross. They had fecal matter, rats and stuff in there. They had fecal matter, rats. They had a lot of things in there. They had a lot of stuff in there. And yes, I'm doing this naming process while I'm talking about that. So basically, they had to clean it out, right? You guys ever been on a long airplane ride before? Basically, every once in a while, you would have to move your legs because, you would form blood clots in your leg, and those would travel up and go into your heart and give you a heart attack. Dead. Right? So basically what the slavers did was they decided to do that for the slaves. They made them dance, but then after they danced to their own rhythm, because as a revolt, they did that. As a revolt, they did that because like, we're not gonna take it, man. Like seriously, we're not gonna take that, right? So they started dancing to the tune of their own music. I'm going in circles right now. And basically, what they did was they danced to the tune of their own music, and they were like they caused multiple rebellions on those ships. They all died because the Europeans had guns. It's like sort of like trying to fight a toddler and you're Mike Tyson. You know automatically you're gonna win. If you're Mike Tyson and you're fighting a toddler, you are automatically going to win because you are Mike Tyson. The same thing applies here if you're trying to start a revolution and they have guns, but you don't, right? So they were killed, and whoever died got thrown overboard, right? eventually they all got so sick that the sailors had to try and find a cure, which was them throwing them overboard. So them throwing them overboard in an attempt to, help them. I'm not even sure it's helping them, more or less. Not even helping them. And basically, what they did was essentially toss them into water, bring them right back. Unless you were dead, which then you'd be in the water forever. An aquatic hell, I would say. An aquatic end. An aquatic end, right? Then after they got to the Americas, they were considered property. They were whipped. Even on the, like, and before they even went on the ship, they were branded. They were branded as signs to show ownership. Same thing happens to cattle. Same thing happens to cattle today. Now, I'm not saying this as an attempt to try and draw actual tragedy to factory farming. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to do that. It's the equivalent of comparing. It's the equivalent of comparing. It's the equivalent. I can't make any jokes. It's like the equivalent of comparing somebody dying to somebody fainting. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference. And what happened here was actually tragedy, because their descendants were also enslaved. In the Americas until, some dude decided to come along, Abraham Lincoln. He wasn't really trying to free the slaves, more or less trying to preserve the Union. Picture it like a video game, right? And fixing slavery was a side quest, you know? Sort of like fixing slavery was a side quest. Basically, he decided to free the slaves because, basically, what the African American, what the enslaved people wanted was, basically, like, keep their slaves because they thought that the North was taking their slaves and then the South. This did not become a project about the Civil War. I'm just saying the conclusion to the slave trade. But visit West Africa. Trust me, it's a trip that you will love. It's a trip that you'll love. Visit West Africa for music, art, culture, science, university. Visit West Africa. Okay? Visit West Africa. Take the family too. And that concludes the 13-minute video. This is the shortest video I've done so far. Alright, and that is the end of the West Africa project. I just had to throw in a little bit of jokes here and there while playing Street Fighter. So, I don't know, maybe I pass this project, maybe? I hope I pass this. But if I don't, I truly understand, because I'm playing a video game while doing this. But that was the first half, and that's the thing I want to get away from. Seeing as how I did that. I'm gonna go into post-production, split out West Africa part, upload to a separate video, even though this, technically speaking, of part 2 of this. It's still in the same video. Now, I'm attempting to unlock Akuma in Street Fighter. Akuma. Okay, I don't want to play this racist depiction of the Native American person. Oh, also, coming soon will be one of the greatest reality shows that you will never forget. you've heard of you guys have heard of um the the Salem Housewives. Now, get ready for now get ready for um the Virginia the Jamestown Housewives coming soon to a TV or phone near you. Coming to a TV near you. Coming to a TV near you. Okay? Now the rest of the video is just me playing Street Fighter, so if you want to keep the West Africa part, you can click off, you know, you can click off. But the Jamestown Housewives is coming out soon. It is coming out soon. I will record it as soon as possible. Now it's time for me to go into my cryo chamber after this video. I'm going to go into my cryo chamber after this video and freeze myself. But yeah. Also, here's a little tutorial on how to beat Street Fighter 2 in 4 seconds. There. We're on T-Bison. T-Bison. I'm not calling him because he looks like T-Hawk. I'm calling him T-Bison because he looks like Thanos. Looks like Thanos. Also, you guys want to know how to fight Akuma? This is valuable tips to anybody who wants to fight Akuma. Okay, you have to beat the entire game, flawless victories, and defeat the 3 major Shadowloo bosses, which are Sagat, Balrog, and Vega. It took me 3 days to beat all of those people combined. But yes, everybody, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day, and you know what? Keep on doing what you do. This has been Zero Productions, signing off. I think, yeah, signing off. Alright. Bah! Also, you know what they say in show business? Leave the people wanting more. I could post every day if I felt like it, but I want to leave you guys with a burning sensation.